Hey everybody, it's Jorik. Welcome back to Portugal and Beyond. I hope you're having a great day. I am. I hope things are well with you and wherever you are in the world. Got another subscriber question here that has come up, I'll say, fairly often in the comments. I counted, it's been asked about 27 times in a year and a half I've been making videos. It gets asked in different ways, and you'll kind of understand where I'm going with this. I'm going to try to give you a succinct and best answer as I can for you. But many people that are coming to Portugal, it's not about working like we're still working or even doing the digital nomad. Many of the people that are following the channel, it's about retiring and getting a leg up on what you need to do administratively, etc., before you move and after you get here to set up shop and to retire and live here. So the questions that the common question that has come up is, we're thinking about retiring to Portugal. Do we need a car? It's a very open-ended one because I'm going to try to close it and be succinct. If you are living in the city center or within metropolitan Lisbon, metropolitan Porto, you do not need a car. It's my opinion. We don't have one. Even if you have a hard time walking or things like if you might have some physical ailments. Public transportation, I think the trains, the trams, the buses, things like that in those two cities, Lisbon here as well as up north in Porto, are excellent, and you don't need it. If you are living in the outskirts or in the, what I'll say, the country, rural towns, smaller towns. If you're living in the Algarve, there is a bus system that is kind of works, a train system, but it's not necessarily that fluid. You kind of need a car. I would say if you're living in the Algarve, you're probably leaning towards a car. If you're living in a smaller town, or you're living outside of Lisbon and Porto, and I mean Coimbra, Tomar, Aveiro, Peniche, Nazaré, Évora, so not necessarily smaller towns and other cities, they're just outside of the two main metropolitan ones. If you're living on the islands, somewhere in the Azores or Madeira, if you're living right in the city, in the heart of on Madeira, maybe not, but most of the other islands in the Azores, you're going to need a car most likely to get around, just because of the lack of fluid public transportation. So that's sort of a hodgepodge of an answer. In Lisbon or Porto, no. I think you can look for property and find something that's close to a train or a bus line, a subway line in Lisbon, a tram line to get you around. There's also Uber, Bolt, taxi, bicycles, scooters, you name it. But when you're outside that area, you might be in smaller areas or outside metropolitan Lisbon or Porto that's along a train line or a bus line that can get you to and from. So it may not be 100% necessary, but I think the farther you get out of Lisbon and Porto, the more so you're probably leaning towards needing a vehicle to get around. Also depends on how much you plan on traveling. If you're not going to leave your property very often and you're close to getting to a bus line or a train line out in a small town or a rural area, then you wouldn't need a car. So it's a long-winded answer to that question, but I hope I'm touching on, I know people are asking it for different reasons, and I hope I answered your questions properly. If not, please leave in the comments if you've come to Lisbon, what your experience has been and why you have a car or why you haven't picked up a car as of yet if you're living here. So as always, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Keep asking questions. I'm going to do my best to answer them as best I can and as honest as I can for you. And enjoy your travels. Hey, thanks so much for watching the full video. If you get a chance, and if you're interested in reading some crazy workplace stories, please check out my two books, Magnet of Madness Volume 1 and Volume 2, both available on Amazon in ebook or softcover. If you want to make fun of me, there's plenty of stories where you can do that. If you want to make yourself feel better about the job that you're in, it'll make you feel better too. But crazy stuff that happened over 30 years, you won't believe it until you read it. So thank you so much for watching. And if you get a chance, pick up a copy of one of these on Amazon. Thank you so much.